How can you sort of make the most? You've put this energy, shall we say, into making content. What are some of the clever ways you can reuse or get most value out of the content you've got?
It's about looking at kind of those messages in the whole and thinking, okay, which messages can we kind of draw out that are relevant to specific audience groups, and then you kind of make them into really short form videos and distribute them on your platforms, looking at kind of where your audience might be who are interested in a specific thing.
When we actually think about how to do and create authentic content, it's useful to first identify your organization's tone of voice. And in other words, what authenticity means specifically to you and your audience. And a little caveat is that humor obviously might not work for every organization or in every scenario, but it is a really good tool if you do it right. You just have to make sure that the humor is purposeful and find the right kind of funny that is unique to your organization.
Is there any evidence that those kind of humorous approaches sell more tickets?
So not everything directly leads to selling tickets, but when you think about creating content, there are content that engages the audience, so you become more memorable and people immediately think about your brand when they think about making a purchase. Like you're not just creating content for an angle which is sales. You should also create content for your audience that sort of that's entertaining and serves other purpose for them as well.
So I'm mainly going to be talking about websites today, but also a little bit on email and AI and how to use those in an environmentally friendly way. There's obviously a lot of nuance around individual responsibility for climate change, but as well as reducing your digital carbon footprint, lots of the tips in this talk have additional benefits around things like search engine optimization, accessibility and mental health. The kind of analogy that I like to use with this is when your car is very full, it uses more fuel. So similarly, if your website is very resource heavy, it's got lots of big photos and videos, lots of plugins, etc. It needs more energy to host it and also then more energy for people on the internet to view it. The kind of bottom line of all of these tips is to minimize the data that you're adding to the internet, which in turn then minimizes your digital pollution. And also it's not just electricity that AI uses a lot of. The water footprint for using AI is really massive. So a recent study from the University of California, Riverside found that getting ChatGPT to write a 100-word email used around 500 ml of water. So that's the same as a plastic bottle. Like I say, this isn't me saying don't use AI, because there are so many good and helpful and powerful use cases for it. I would probably say from a sustainability perspective to use it in the same way that you would either choose to walk or to drive. Sometimes it makes a lot more sense to take the car, but in an ideal world, it would be great to walk the majority of the time.
Holly, from you.
Yeah. I guess just kind of echo what Sophie was saying in terms of sustainability. I think it's just being super thoughtful about the tools that you're using and the processes that you have, and just really thinking, just because we've done this the same way for the last 5 years, is that definitely the right way to do it?
Feel sort of overwhelmed by the possibilities of what you can do kind of digitally, and to try and think more about one of the things that has been discussed today kind of resonates with you or sort of feels achievable. And sometimes it's about doing the things that feel achievable rather than thinking you've got to kind of follow every single trend or do every new development that's going, kind of looking at what feels achievable and deliverable and what's going to work for your organization and your audience, and just kind of trial those things first, so that you feel comfortable, rather than trying to kind of do everything.